Okay, so welcome all participants to another video tutorial from Genome Biotech. Okay, so we would be talking about the next topic that is referred to as uh, the nucleic acid biosynthesis pathway. What is nucleic acid biosynthesis pathway? How does nucleic acid biosynthesis pathway takes place? What are the methods by which the nucleic acid biosynthesis pathway operates in the cell? So that we are all going to look forward into all these different types of methods, that how does nucleic acid biosynthesis pathway occurs in a cell. Okay, so now just revising from the previous lecture. From the previous lecture, we have already seen the different types of RNA molecules as they are going through, and then the different types of experiments that were being conducted, and these are the different types of experiments which are there. Next is different types of RNA molecules that we have seen. What are the different types of RNA molecules which are being associated in a cell? And from today, we will be talking about the nucleotide biosynthesis. So this class, we are going to focus upon the nucleotide biosynthesis. What is this nucleotide biosynthesis? How does the nucleotide biosynthesis take place in a cell? And so we would be talking about all the different steps which are being involved in nucleotide biosynthesis. Am I loud and clearly hearable to all of you? मैं आप सभी को सुनाई दे रहा हूं और आपको स्लाइड सही दिखाई दे रही है कि नहीं दे रही है, बस इसका मुझे जवाब दे दीजिएगा. यू कैन राइट टैप right, yes or no. Okay, so now we are going to initiate the lecture. Okay, so here we are. Okay, thank you. So here we are talking about the nucleotide synthesis. As in my previous lecture, just day before yesterday, I have already informed you all that nucleotide biosynthesis refers to all the different type of biochemical reactions that are involved in the biosynthesis of nucleotide molecules. वो सारी बायोकेमिकल रिएक्शंस जो कि न्यूक्लियोटाइड को बनाने के काम आती हैं, उन सबको हम स्टडी करते हैं न्यूक्लियोटाइड बायोसिंथेसिस रिएक्शन में. ओके, so now what we are going to talk about are the two different pathways. One is referred to as salvage pathway, de novo pathway. अगर आप लोग थोड़ा सा भूल गए तो मैं आपको याद दिला देता हूं. In the case of salvage pathway, what was being done? The nucleotides were being biosynthesized from their precursor molecules. Okay, from their constituent molecules. And in the case of de novo pathway, new nucleotides were being biosynthesized by joining each and every carbon, nitrogen, oxygen atoms together with each other. अगर जोड़ जोड़ के किसी चीज को बनाया जाए तो वो है de novo pathway. बनी बनाई चीज को एकदम से ग्रैब कर लिया जाए, पुरानी सी चीज को, और उसको फिर नए में कन्वर्ट कर दिया जाए, वो है साल्वेज पाथवे. तो देखिए, अगर आप डी नोवो पाथवे और साल्वेज पाथवे को डिफरेंशिएट करना चाहते हो ना एक दूसरे से, अगर आप डी नोवो पाथवे और साल्वेज पाथवे को एक दूसरे से डिफरेंशिएट करना चाहते हो, तो मैं यहाँ पर एक बहुत बेसिक से एग्जांपल दूंगा. यू नो दीज रैबिट्स मेक्स फुरोज. ठीक है, रैबिट जो होते हैं फुरोज को बनाते हैं, तो वो क्या है, वो मिट्टी को खोदते हैं और फुरोज को बनाते हैं. दे फॉर्म डी नोवो पाथवे, मतलब बेसिक से शुरू कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, और जो स्नेक्स होते हैं, स्नेक क्या करता है, स्नेक कभी भी अपना फुरो खुद नहीं बनाता. Snake never makes its own furrow by itself. It actually acquires the furrow of all the others. ठीक है, तो ये क्या कर देता है, बाकी सबके फुरो को ऑक्युपाई कर लेता है. इस तरीके से स्नेक वर्कआउट करता है. ओके, now we are moving forward. In the case of salvage pathway, we'll be talking about that what happens in the case of salvage pathway, how does salvage pathway operates. Okay, that we are going to look forward. And we would be looking at the de novo pathway. Now first, both salvage pathway and de novo pathway lead to the biosynthesis of ribonucleotides. So both of these pathways have a common function, that is the nucleotide biosynthesis, that is ribonucleotide biosynthesis. It is later on these ribonucleotides gets converted into nucleotides. Now this is very, very important. What is important in this is that, see, the first proof, another proof that that illustrate that first DNA was not being produced first, it was RNA which was being used as a genetic material, came from the analysis of the de novo and the salvage pathway. Both de novo as well as the salvage pathway leads to the production of ribonucleotide. बड़ा ही important word है ये दोनों क्या बनाते हैं, ये दोनों बनाते हैं भैया राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड. न्यूक्लियोटाइड को नहीं बनाते, ये बनाते हैं राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड को. मैं इस वर्ड को अंडरलाइन कर रहा हूं, यहां पर आप देखें, it leads to the formation of ribonucleotides. Okay, this is the ribonucleotide which is being produced. Sorry, this is not transparent. Sorry, So this is the ribonucleotide which is being produced. So ribonucleotides are of utmost importance because it is these ribonucleotides, which says that RNA evolved as the first genetic material as compared to the DNA molecule. Okay, so this is what we would be writing here. I'm trying to illustrate it out. Just a second. As the formation of R of ribonucleotide occurs prior to the formation of deoxyribonucleotides. So it clearly indicates that firstly RNA evolved as a genetic material, So it was firstly that RNA which was evolving as a genetic material, and later on any other molecule evolved as a genetic material such as the DNA molecule. So previously it was RNA, depending upon the formation of ribonucleotide which is going to take place. Okay, so this is a keynote. You can note it down. All those keynotes that I am telling you in my class must be noted down in your notebook or in your book, because these are the points from where the questions have been asked in CSR and other different entrance examination. Okay, now furthermore, the methyl group that distinguishes the thymine in the DNA from the uracil of RNA is added at the last step of the pathway. Now comes one of the key most important pathway in the case of de novo biosynthesis. See, de novo biosynthesis is a very elongated pathway. I'm not going to scare you up, but still I'm just going to show it to you that how many steps are being involved in the case of de novo biosynthesis pathway, especially in the case of purines. Pyrimidine de novo biosynthesis pathway is relatively easy. Now, see, if you would be opening your MCQ book, which majority of you are not opening, please do open that particular book. Where is Priyanshi? Okay, Priyanshi has actually solved 1 or 2 questions. Except her, nobody is solving that particular book. That is just for showcase for you all, but that book is very, very important. See, in that book also you will find several questions being asked about which carbon in the case of pyrimidine ring is from aspartate, which carbon is from carbamoyl phosphate, how bicarbonate molecules lead to the formation of carbamoyl phosphate molecule. So the first pathway that we are going to talk about here is the de novo biosynthesis pathway for the pyrimidine ribonucleotide. Now, how does the pyrimidine ribonucleotides are being produced, and what is the pathway which are being involved, that we would be looking forward. Now see, in de novo synthesis, the pyrimidine ring is assembled from bicarbonate, aspartate, and glutamine. These are the 3 chemical agents that leads to the biosynthesis of the pyrimidine ring. Which are these? Those बाइकार्बोनेट, एस्पार्टेट एंड ग्लूटामीन. भैया बहुत क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं, प्लीज इसे याद कर लीजिए. नेक्स्ट अगर हम देखते हैं यहाँ पर इसके जो स्ट्रक्चर है, ये एस्पार्टेट बनाता है, ये वाला पार्ट कार्बामोइल फॉस्फेट बनाता है, और ये बन गई आपकी पूरी pyrimidine की रिंग. अच्छा देखिए, सबसे दुनिया में पहले बनने वाला ribonucleotide कौन सा था? Which was the first ribonucleotide which would have been synthesized over the planet Earth? The first ribonucleotide to be biosynthesized was, my dear friends, UDP. It was the first ribonucleotide which was being biosynthesized in biochemistry. Again, another proof of the RNA world hypothesis. The first pyrimidine nucleotide which is being produced in our body is the uracil triphosphate. It act as a precursor molecule for the formation of all the different types of ribonucleotide, indicating that RNA was the first genetic material to have evolved. See, I'm writing a note, another note, very important. In the biochemical pathway, in the de novo biochemical pathway for the biosynthesis of pyrimidines, in the de novo biochemical pathway for the biosynthesis of pyrimidines. The first ribonucleotide produced is UTP, okay, uracil triphosphate. Thus, it indicates that, thus it indicates that firstly, uracil evolved, followed by other nitrogenous base. So this clearly illustrate illustrate another proof for RNA world hypothesis. See, the formation of firstly uracil clearly indicate that the RNA world hypothesis was being exhibited, and it was the first genetic material was not the DNA, it was actually RNA in nature. Okay, so this is how the first nucleotide which was being produced was uracil triphosphate. Now, where is carbamoyl phosphate? Which is the enzyme that is involved? The enzyme that is involved is referred to as cytosolic carbamoyl phosphate synthetase second, which is involved in the biosynthesis pathway for this pyrimidine nucleotide. So the pyrimidine nucleotide, the pathway that is being involved is via the enzyme cytosolic carbamoyl phosphate synthetase type second. Now see, another question which has been asked in CSR and other entrance examination for so many number of times is that what is the function of this cytosolic carbamoyl phosphate synthetase second? How this carbamoyl phosphate synthetase second is different from cytosolic carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1. See, carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1 is present in the case of urea cycle. Urea cycle में होता है carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1, और कार्बामोल फॉस्फेट सिंथेटेज कहां पर है? ये साइटोसोल में है, और ये पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है न्यूक्लिक एसिड बायोसिंथेसिस के अंदर. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. और जबकि यूरिया साइकिल वाला जो एंजाइम है उसका नाम क्या है? उसका नाम है कार्बामोइल फॉस्फेट सिंथेटेज टाइप 1, एंड इट इज प्रेजेंट विद इन द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया ऑफ यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स, दैट इज हेपेटिक लीवर सेल्स. हेपेटिक सेल्स के अंदर और बाकी सेल्स के अंदर कार्बामोइल फॉस्फेट सिंथेटेज टाइप 1 कहां पर होता है? माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में होता है. यहां पर कार्बामोइल फॉस्फेट सिंथेटेज टाइप 2 कहां पर है? साइटोसोल में है. दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस है? दोनों आइसो एंजाइम्स हैं. Carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1 and carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 2, both of these are isoenzymes in nature. They will function equivalent to each other. Just a second. I would like to extrapolate that also in front of you if I had that particular book here. Just a minute. I didn't have Lippincott. It is given in Lippincott, one of the very famous book. In the case of another reaction is given in Lippincott. I will show it to you tomorrow, no problem. So we would be talking about carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1 and carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 2. So both carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1 and carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 2 are isoenzymes in nature. I'm talking about this particular point. This is very important point. So you can all note it down. See, note carbamoyl phosphate synthetase called as CPS1 and CPS second are isoenzymes in nature. Okay, so whether you are talking about carbamoyl phosphate synthetase second or 1, they are isoenzymes in nature. That is, these both catalyzes the same biochemical reactions, but are being encoded by different genes present on different chromosomes. Okay, their genomic sequences which codes for them are completely different. Their site of action is also different. That is, I'm writing it out, that is CPS1. CPS1. Where is this CPS1 found? It's found in the case of mitochondria. Mitochondria of of hepatic cells, of eukaryotic cell. Every eukaryotic cell it is present. Okay. While CPS2, CPS2 is present in the cytosol. Okay, so CPS1 is taking part in the case of urea cycle, present in the mitochondria of eukaryotic cell, where it takes part in urea cycle, where it takes part in urea cycle, while CPS2 cytosol, it takes part in nucleotide biosynthesis reactions. So this is the basic difference. So isoenzymes may be present at the same site within the genome, or they can be present at the different site within the genome. Okay, so this is very important. You must note it down. Okay. Now, carbamoyl phosphate react with aspartate to form carbamoyl aspartate. Now, there is carbamoyl phosphate. There is this reaction which is being given to you. I would be just looking at this particular reaction, that how we are going to understand this particular reaction. Now, see what you are getting it here. I'm just rubbing this out. See, firstly, this carbamoyl phosphate synthetase enzyme work. Now, how does this carbamoyl phosphate synthetase enzyme work? Carbamoyl phosphate synthetase enzyme is an enzyme that reacts with two molecules of ATP and one molecule of carbon dioxide and glutamine in a complex array of reaction liberates glutamate. देखो ग्लूटामीन है और उसमें से ग्लूटामेट बाहर निकल गया. आपको स्ट्रक्चर याद होगा तो आपको पता चल जाएगा इसमें NH2 ग्रुप है और इसमें वो NH2 ग्रुप नहीं है, यानी कि NH2 ग्रुप यहाँ पर ऐड हो गया है. देखो NH2 ग्रुप यहाँ पर ऐड हो गया है. Which group has been added here? It is this NH2 group dear which has been added here. It is this NH2 group which has been added here. Where is that NH2 group? Okay, I'm trying to bring this NH2 group into frame. Okay, here it is, this NH2 group. This is the NH2 group which has been added, and this NH2 group has been added from glutamine. It has been added from glutamine only. Just trying to redraw it out so that I could place it at right position. Okay, supposingly you would have understood that. Now, this carbamoyl phosphate synthetase second enzyme, this is actually a bicomplex in nature. That means it is actually made up of two different enzymes and it has a channel in between that. For example, carbamoyl phosphate synthetase. Now, how does this carbamoyl phosphate synthetase will look? That I will try to draw in front of you if I can. See, this happens in the case of carbamoyl phosphate synthetase. That carbamoyl phosphate synthetase is actually, this carbamoyl phosphate synthetase is actually made up of two different types of subunits. Both these subunits are interacting with each other. See, there are two different types of subunits which are present, and each subunit has a channel in between them. See, there would be a channel. There would be a channel from which the substrate will enter, and once this channel, the product will leave. Okay, so from this channel the product will leave, and from this channel only the substrate will enter. So see this, actually this reaction takes place into two different steps. In one step, it causes the activation of the carbon dioxide molecule. In the first step, once the activation of the carbon dioxide molecule takes place, then the reaction is further proceeded. And in the second step, what happens is that this amino group combines with the carbon dioxide molecules, and when the amino group combines with the carbon dioxide molecule, then you lead to the formation of carbamoyl phosphate structure. Please, Nidhi and other students, please be present on time, because these classes are the core of biochemistry. You will never be able to understand the core of biochemistry if you miss even a slight fraction of this particular class. Okay, so this is very important. Now please listen here. We will be moving to an animation in which we would be talking about how this carbamoyl phosphate leads to the formation of carbamoyl aspartate. Now see, this is aspartic acid which is being added. Aspartic acid added, and what is aspartic acid? How many number of carbons are there? Please do try to question yourself. See, there are this is the aspartic acid which is present. See, CO, NH2, NH, and then CH, COOH. यहाँ पर एसिडिक ग्रुप है CH3OH। तो देखिए पेन अल्टीमेट एसिडिक ग्रुप के साथ में कौन रिएक्ट कर गया, यहाँ पर इस CH2 के साथ में कौन रिएक्ट कर गया, यहाँ पर जो कार्बन था ये रिएक्ट कर गया है, और ये कार्बन जो है रिएक्शन हुई है यहाँ पर, और यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं इनऑर्गेनिक फॉस्फेट यहाँ से बाहर निकल गया है। यहाँ पर NH2 के साथ में ये कार्बन CO जुड़ चुका है NH2 के साथ में, जो यहाँ पर कार्बोइल फॉस्फेट के साथ में था, मतलब एस्पार्टेट के पास में NH था, उसके साथ में कार्बन जुड़ गया, और यहाँ पर क्या बना दिया इसने, कार्बोइल phosphate molecule is being produced. ATP is used. Yes, ATP is being used in this particular reaction to catalyze the activation, because it leads to the formation of an intermediate that is referred to as carbamic acid. It leads to, because as it leads to formation, as it leads to the formation of an intermediate that is carbamic acid. Dear all students, okay, listen very carefully. I will take my class tomorrow also. These classes are very important. None of you are going to miss it. And whatever extra thing I'm going to tell to you, I will be providing you extra notes in your group. So please, always after this class in the morning, look at your group, what has been sent. All the intermediate reactions of this carboyl phosphate synthetase will be sent there. Then it will lead to the formation of carboyl aspartate. Carboyl aspartate forms the first cyclic structure, which is referred to as dihydroorotate. Now see this NH2 reacts with this carbon atom and releases a water molecule, H2O. Water is being released. As water is being released, so this leads to the formation of dihydroorotate. Once the dihydroorotate is being produced, then this dihydroorotate will get converted into orotate molecule. Dihydroorotate gets converted into orotate molecule. Okay, orotate in the presence of phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate will lead to the formation of OMP. See, in the world, the first ribonucleotide which was being biosynthesized was not uracil monophosphate. The first ribonucleotide to be biosynthesized was ओरोटिडीन मोनोफॉस्फेट. दुनिया में सबसे पहले अगर कोई राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड बना था, वो कौन सा राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड था? इट वाज रेफर्ड टू एज ओरोटेट मोनोफॉस्फेट. प्लीज ध्यान रखिए कि ओरोटेट मोनोफॉस्फेट वाज द फर्स्ट राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड व्हिच वाज बीइंग प्रोड्यूस्ड. ओके, नाउ moving forward, orotate monophosphate will lead to the formation of UMP when the presence of an enzyme which is referred to as OMP decarboxylase. Now see, OMP decarboxylase, it is the most proficient enzyme that is being known. Question has been asked over it. See, orotate OMP decarboxylase is also referred to as orotidilate. See, one question which has been asked from this particular topic or orotate OMP decarboxylase is that OMP decarboxylase also referred to as the orotidilate. Orotidilate is the most proficient enzyme, enzyme that is known. Okay, so this is the most proficient enzyme that is known, and in its absence, the reaction will occur once in 78 millionth year. Okay, so this reaction will occur once in 78 million year. So this is the most proficient enzyme that is being known in the world. This is the most active enzyme that is being known. Okay, so this is why OMP is referred to as the most proficient enzyme. The first, it has an enhancement factor of 10 raised to the power 17. 10, now I cannot raise it to any power, but it is 10 raised to 17. बोला भी नहीं जा सकता. 10 raised to the power 17 to the power 17. This is how much enhancement this particular enzyme does in a biochemical reaction. इतनी तेजी से रिएक्शन को करा देता है. अब इससे पहले कि हम आगे बढ़ें और इस प्रोसेस को और ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड तरीके से समझें, हम कुछ सिंप्लिसिटी से इस प्रोसेस को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. मेरे लिए ये बहुत आसान है, लेकिन कुछ स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बहुत टफ हो रहा होगा कि सर ये तो बहुत ही ज्यादा टफ है, कैसे हम इसे याद कर सकते हैं। तो उसकी भी कुछ ट्रिक्स हैं, उसकी भी कुछ टेक्निक्स हैं जिनके थ्रू हम याद कर सकते हैं। पहले हम जर्नलाइज चीजों को पढ़ेंगे, फिर हम स्पेशलाइज चीजों को पढ़ेंगे। तो जर्नलाइज चीजों में हम सबसे पहले देखते हैं स्ट्रक्चर्स को, ठीक है, किस तरीके से। तो देखिए, एक न्यूक्लियोटाइड बायोसिंथेसिस की एक सिंपलेस्ट सी मैंने पीपीटी निकाली है, जिसके अंदर कुछ ट्रिक्स और टेक्निक्स दे रखी हैं, तो उससे हम देखेंगे, ठीक है। Now see, the information which is present in our DNA turns out to be the greatest development in the field of molecular genetics in recent years, because this is the DNA that will form all the RNA and the protein. Now, this is the learning objective that you have to understand. How nucleotides are being synthesized in the cell, what is there in the cell that leads to the biosynthesis of these nucleotides, ठीक है। सेल के अंदर ऐसा क्या है कि न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स बन जाते हैं। There are two different pathways that we are going to visualize. As you know, the first one is referred to as the de novo pathway, and the second one is referred to as the salvage pathway. We already know that what is de novo, what is salvage pathway, and how does these pathway operates. Okay. Now, when does the synthesis of inosine monophosphate takes place? Synthesis of uracil, cytosine, deoxyribonucleotides, as well as the thymine. That we would be looking forward. जैसे जैसे पाथफाइंडर से हम पढ़ेंगे, वैसे वैसे हम स्लाइड से पढ़ेंगे। देखिए, इस चीज का कोई एनिमेशन हो भी नहीं सकता, इसलिए है भी नहीं हमारे पास में, बट वी आर गोइंग टू लुक फॉरवर्ड दैट हाउ डज इट टेक्स प्लेस। You will have to read much. That's the only thing that you can do. Now see, purines and pyrimidines are two different classes of nucleotides that you know. Purines contain adenine, guanine, pyrimidine, cytosine, uracil, and thymine can be remembered by the trick. But as I told you, they have different roles as an energy carrier molecule, component of the coenzymes. They have other different functions also that you can visualize. So they have the signal transducing, they are the component of the signal transducing mechanism, or the cyclic AMP, cyclic TMP, all these molecules are being constituted by them. Now, moving forward, what we are going to find is that how does the reaction takes place. Nucleotide biosynthesis, de novo and salvage pathway. Now moving to this particular chart. This is the chart that explains that how the different types of molecules are being produced. Now see this. Nucleotide biosynthesis. You have to draw this chart in your book. Okay, at least take its print out, or you can draw it out. Okay. Now see this. Nucleotide biosynthesis can be classified into two different types. One is de novo biosynthesis, another one is referred to as the salvage biosynthesis. Now, what happens in the case of de novo biosynthesis? What happens in the case of salvage biosynthesis? In the case of de novo biosynthesis, the two different types of nucleotides are being produced. One is purine, another one is pyrimidine. Okay. Now, purines, the first ribonucleotide to be produced was, in the case of purines, was inosine monophosphate. That means prehistorically there was no adenosine, there was no guanosine monophosphate. There was only a single ribonucleotide, and that one was referred to as inosine monophosphate. पुराने टाइम पे सबसे पहले जो राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड बना, प्यूरिन राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड बना, वो कौन सा था? इनोसिन मोनोफॉस्फेट। देखिए, बायोकेमिस्ट्री की रिएक्शंस हमें ये बता देती है कि कौन कौन से स्टेप में क्या क्या बन रहा है, जिससे हमें ये पता चल जाता है जो जितना कॉमन है वो उतना पुराना है। The common pathways in biochemistry indicates that these are one of the oldest pathway in the evolution of the organism. Okay. The another one is referred to as uridine monophosphate that leads to the formation of deoxy-UMP, or lead to the formation of UTP, CTP, deoxy, TTP. Okay. Next is purine nucleotide biosynthesis. We'll look at purine nucleotide biosynthesis, but we have to firstly look at the pyrimidine nucleotide biosynthesis that we are going to look forward. Okay, these are all the reactions of purine. We will be looking forward at them. In the case of pyrimidine nucleotide biosynthesis, this is what I was telling you. First, we were talking about the de novo biosynthesis pathway. देखो, डी नोवो बायोसिंथेसिस पाथवे को याद करने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका ये है, आपको पिरिमिडीन का स्ट्रक्चर याद होना चाहिए बेटा। मैंने क्या बताया था? NNS2, NNS2, NHO, NHOCH3। बस, अगर आपको तीनों ट्रिके याद हैं, NNS2, यहां पर क्या लगा दोगे? NNS2, यहां पर क्या लगा दोगे? NNS2, NHO, NHOCH3। ठीक है, तो उससे बन जाता है पिरिमिडीन न्यूक्लियस। अब देखते हैं हम ये किस तरीके से होता है, पिरिमिडीन किस तरीके से बनने वाले हैं, that we have to see moving forward. Now, firstly, de novo synthesis of uridine monophosphate. How does uridine monophosphate is being produced? As you are looking at the first reaction in the case of Pathfinder, that there is carmyl phosphate synthetase enzyme, and one student was asking, sir, where is this ATP utilized? You look here. See, UMP is also act as a precursor for CMP. That would be done later on. Firstly, the carmyl phosphate synthetase enzyme work. Carmyl phosphate synthetase enzyme has two different subunits, and both of these subunits are involved in the formation of carbamic. First subunit forms carbamic acid, second subunit leads to its hydrolysis and form carmyl phosphate. This is an uphill reaction. देखो एटीपी क्यों चाहिए इस रिएक्शन में, क्योंकि बेटा ये एनर्जी के इसके रिएक्शन के अंदर स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन के उल्टा चल रहा है. स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन जो होती है उसके अंदर क्या होता है, दैट टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शन इज द वन, the spontaneous reaction is the one in which the reactions takes place spontaneously and energy is being liberated. Now in the other type of reaction, the uphill reaction, energy is being required. क्यों चाहिए भैया एनर्जी? इसलिए चाहिए क्योंकि आपको पता है कार्बन के पास में जो ऑक्सीजन है, ऑक्सीजन कैसा एटम है, इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव. फॉस्फोरस कैसा एटम है, इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव. दो इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव और इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव एलिमेंट को अगर बीच में बॉन्ड बनाना है तो जबरदस्ती तो बनवाएंगे भैया, वो भी इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव और ये भी इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव. ठीक है, दो लड़का लोग आपस में दोस्त हो सकते हैं? नहीं, वो हमेशा लड़ मारेंगे. ठीक है, हमारे यहाँ लड़ाई हो जाती है, ठीक है, तो नहीं हो सकते. लेकिन फिर भी हमें उनके बीच में लड़ाई करानी है, तो हमने उन्हें क्या बोला कि इनके बीच में हमने 100 रुपए का नोट रख दिया, दोनों लड़ मर के फिर मतलब क्या होगा, दोस्त बन गए. तो दिस इज हाउ, दिस इज ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल व्हिच हैज अ नेगेटिव चार्ज, phosphorus molecule also have a negative charge. So as to prevent the repulsion and between them, ATP forcefully join these two molecules with each other. That is why this is an uphill reaction. That is why delta G for this reaction is positive. देखो हमारी बायोकेमिस्ट्री का सिर्फ एक रूल है, कुछ रिएक्शन अपने आप हो जाती है, दैट इज डेल्टा जी इज नेगेटिव. जो अपने आप हो जाए उस पे पैसा खर्च करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, उस पे एटीपी थोड़ी ना खर्च करनी है. जो अपने आप हो जाए उसके ऊपर क्यों एटीपी खर्च करनी है? किसके ऊपर इंसान एटीपी खर्च करता है? जो अपने आप नहीं हो. ठीक है, आप ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस बनाना चाहते हैं, ठीक है, सरकारी दफ्तर में, यू गो टू एन गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल, यू गो टू ए गवर्नमेंट डिस्पेंसरी, देन व्हाट इज बीइंग डन देयर? वो तुरंत बोलेगा कि आज यहाँ पर काम नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि हमारे आदमी नहीं है. आप तुरंत उसे जेब में से 100 रुपए की एटीपी दे, वो बोलेगा अभी होगा. ठीक है, दिस इज हाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इन आवर बॉडी. In our body there are certain spontaneous reactions which do not require ATP, whereas there are certain non-spontaneous reactions which always require ATP molecules, and here the ATP molecule has been required. Now once the synthesis of carmyl phosphates take place, then this carmyl phosphate gets converted into another molecule that is referred to as carbamyl aspartate. Okay, so this is the carmyl phosphate molecule which has been produced. Aspartate transcarbamylase enzyme, aspartate transcarbamylase enzyme, which is also referred to as ATCase. ATCase is an enzyme in which the aspartate reacts with carmyl phosphate and it leads to the formation of carmyl phosphate, carmyl aspartate. देखो भैया, pyrimidine की रिंग पूरी करनी है. pyrimidine की रिंग कैसे पूरी होगी? pyrimidine की रिंग में होता क्या है भैया, 4 कार्बन होते हैं और 2 नाइट्रोजन होते हैं. यहां से तुम एक कार्बन को ले आए, एक नाइट्रोजन को भी ले आए, अब क्या बचा भैया, 3 कार्बन बचे और एक नाइट्रोजन बचा. यार 3 कार्बन और एक नाइट्रोजन वाला कौन सा अमीनो एसिड है? एस्पार्टेट. इसलिए तुम एस्पार्टेट को ले आए हो. नहीं समझ में आया? पिरिमिडीन के रिंग को पूरा करने के लिए 2 नाइट्रोजन और 4 कार्बन की जरूरत होती है. एक कार्बन एक नाइट्रोजन तुम पहले से ही ले आए थे. अब तुम्हें कितने कार्बन चाहिए? तुम्हें 3 कार्बन चाहिए और तुम्हें एक नाइट्रोजन चाहिए. देखो तुम 3 कार्बन को ले आए और एक नाइट्रोजन को ले आए और इस रिंग को पूरा बना दिया. दिस इज रेफर्ड टू एज कार्बोमोइल aspartate. So this ring is completed and here you form the first important compound that is referred to as carboyl aspartate, and this is a stabilized compound which is present here. Okay, now moving forward, after this carmyl phosphate aspartate has been produced, then see this in the third step there is a ring closure and dihydroorotate formation. The first cyclic structure which is being produced, the pyrimidine nucleus which is being present in any molecule, that is referred to as dihydroorotate. Now this dihydroorotate will get converted into another molecule and that is referred to as an orotate. See this dihydroorotate getting transformed into another molecule and that molecule is commonly referred to as the orotate molecule. Okay, now what is the difference in between these two? See, there are hydrogen atoms which are being removed. Hydrogen atoms which are being removed, and see this dihydroorotate. It has two hydrogen atoms. And now orotate didn't have any hydrogen atom. From where does hydrogen are being removed? From here. See at my cursor, you can find that there is a double bond which is being produced. You know that pyrimidine structures have to be resonance stabilized. Now, how you are going to produce resonance stabilization? By alternation of double bonds or by alternation of double bonds with lone pair of electrons. You can find there is nitrogen will have lone pair of electron. This nitrogen will have lone pair of electron. Oxygen will transfer its electron, which will form a double bond here, and there is a double bond which is present here. So it forms a cyclic structure aromatic compound, so that they would be able to rotate the electronic cloud, and in the case of hydrophobic base stacking interaction, the DNA will gain extra stability. देखिए डीएनए का इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्लाउड एरोमेटिक होना बड़ा जरूरी था। न्यूक्लियोटाइड का एरोमेटिक होना इसलिए जरूरी था क्योंकि अगर एरोमेटिसिटी नहीं होती तो हाइड्रोफोबिक बेस स्टैकिंग इंटरेक्शन नहीं हो पाता। उस हाइड्रोफोबिक बेस स्टैकिंग इंटरेक्शन को करने के लिए क्या चीज जरूरत है? एरोमेटिसिटी की बहुत ही स्पेसिफिकली हमें जरूरत है। नेक्स्ट, acquisition of the ribose phosphate moiety. How does the acquisition of ribose phosphate moiety take place? Orotidine 5 monophosphate is being produced. There is a phosphate molecule which has been added, and this is referred to as orotidine monophosphate. Then orotidine monophosphate will get converted into another molecule that is referred to as uridine monophosphate. Okay, orotidine 5 monophosphate is being produced, decarboxylation to form uridine monophosphate. Then carbon dioxide is being removed, and see which is the most proficient enzyme in the world. पूरी दुनिया में सबसे तेजी से रिएक्शन को एनहांस करने वाला कौन सा एंजाइम है? OMP decarboxylase, which is also referred to as ororodilate. Okay, now see, later on it is this UMP which reacts with ATP form UDP. UDP reacts with ATP forms UTP. The first phosphate is called as alpha phosphate, second is called as beta phosphate, third phosphate is called as gamma phosphate. To make these phosphate align along with each other, there are magnesium ions which increases their stability. इनके बीच में magnesium ion होते हैं जो इनकी extra stability को produce कर देते हैं, so that they become extra stable in nature. Now moving forward, nucleotide biosynthesis in the case of pyrimidine. Now this uridine monophosphate, which has been converted into uridine diphosphate and ultimately into uracil triphosphate, this can lead to the biosynthesis of another molecule that is referred to as citidine triphosphate. See, still TTP has not arrived, thymidine has not arrived. That means thymidine was the last pyrimidine to be biosynthesized in the later biochemical path. Thymidine या TTP दुनिया का सबसे बाद में बनने वाला बायोमोलिक्यूल था, सबसे बाद में बनने वाली pyrimidine थी, क्योंकि सबसे पहले तो ओरोटिडीन मोनोफॉस्फेट बन गया जो कि आज नहीं पाया जाता यूनिवर्स में as such. Then it was the uracil triphosphate which was evolved. This uracil, the formation of uracil triphosphate clearly indicate that uracil was the first nitrogenous base to be produced. Then there is a nitrogenous base which is produced called as citidine triphosphate. Now this citidine triphosphate is being produced by a transamination reaction in which the amine group from the glutamine is being transferred to uracil triphosphate. Okay, this amine group is being transferred. Once the amine group is being transferred, the glutamine is getting converted into glutamate. देखो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है, glutamate and alpha ketoglutarate, they moves in a cyclic manner. सी एक आपने देखा है सुबह सुबह एक गाड़ी आती है, मतलब स्वच्छ भारत वाली, तो वो गाड़ी कैसी लेके आता है? सुबह खाली, और लेके कैसे जाता है? भरी हुई। क्यों? क्योंकि वो कूड़ा बीनता रहता है, ठीक है, वो कूड़ा उठाता रहता है, सबके घरों से कचरा कूड़ा ले जाता है। तो हमारी बॉडी का जो नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट है, वेस्ट जो मटेरियल है ना हमारी बॉडी के हर एक सेल का, वो है नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट। तो नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट को कौन लेता है? अल्फा कीटोग्लूटरेट। क्या बनाता है? ग्लूटामेट। ओके, गाड़ी आधी भर चुकी है, ग्लूटामेट से वो क्या बनाता है? ग्लूटामीन। Our body nitrogenous waste is amino group, and that amino group is being carried by alpha ketoglutarate. You remember alpha ketoglutarate? It acts as an intermediate in the Krebs cycle. Alpha ketoglutarate form glutamate, glutamate form glutamine. and this is how that amino group is being transferred. Once the amino group is being transferred to glutamine, from glutamine it gets again transferred to uracil triphosphate, which leads to the biosynthesis of cytidine triphosphate. तो देखिए हमारी बॉडी के अंदर नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट जो थे उसका भी इस्तेमाल किया जाता है ग्लूटामीन के अंदर। आप देख सकते हैं यूरिडीन ट्राइफॉस्फेट को रिएक्ट कराने के लिए किसके अंदर कन्वर्ट कर दिया, सिटिडीन ट्राइफॉस्फेट के अंदर ट्रांसफॉर्म कर दिया है। Hopefully this would be visible to you all. Okay, now moving back to the pathfinder, where we are going to look forward that how does the reactions are going to take place. Okay, hopefully you are able to visualize pathfinder now. Okay, you are able to visualize it now. So this is the first set of reactions that we have visualized. Now see the second set of reactions that takes place. Synthesis of pyrimidine ribonucleotide, the CTP. It takes place in the presence of an enzyme which is referred to as CTP synthetase, also referred to as cytidine synthetase. Now in this cytidine synthetase, what is going to happen? Uracil triphosphate is there. Uracil triphosphate is getting converted into cytidine triphosphate. There is a phosphorylation event that is taking place prior to this, in which uracil monophosphate is getting converted into uracil diphosphate getting converted into uracil triphosphate, and later on this uracil triphosphate is getting converted into cytidine triphosphate. And how does this reaction is going to take place? The glutamine will cause the incorporation of its amino group into this particular structure. देखो कीटो की जगह पे क्या आ गया, amino group, इसलिए मैंने इसे transamination reaction कहा था. There is a keto group and this keto group has been transferred to the glutamine, forming a new amino acid that is glutamate, and its amino group is being transferred here. And here what is being formed? Cytidine triphosphate is being produced in the presence of an enzyme which is called as cytidine triphosphate synthetase. Now deoxyribonucleotides, how these deoxyribonucleotides are synthesized by the reduction of ribonucleotides. Now see, once you have biosynthesized all these ribonucleotides, there is another enzyme which is present. That is enzyme is called as ribonucleotide reductase. Now this ribonucleotide reductase performs similar type of reactions. It has a complex mechanism that is involved, and in this mechanism what happens is this causes the deoxy form of ribodeoxy. This causes the removal of the 2' hydroxy group from ribonucleotide, converting the ribonucleotide into deoxyribonucleotide. You already know that there are ribonucleotides which are present. Now ribonucleotides are getting converted into deoxyribonucleotide in the presence of an enzyme which is called as ribonucleotide reductase. Ribonucleotide reductase, you have reduced it out as you have added a hydrogen atom, so this has been reduced. So this UDP was the first nitrogenous base which led to the formation of deoxy UDP, uridine diphosphate. Okay, so this deoxy UDP was being produced by ribonucleotide reductase, which later on in the presence of another reaction N5N10 methyl tetrahydrofolate led to the biosynthesis of a molecule of thymidine. Okay, now please listen here. There are two very important agents which are being used to inhibit the activity of dihydrofolate reductase, and those reagents are the methotrexate and aminoterrin. Both these reagents are the one which act as the inhibitors of this methyl transfer reaction. You can look here, uridine diphosphate. Uridine diphosphate is able to transfer a methyl group over, you have transferred a methyl group over uridine diphosphate, leading to the formation of thymidine monophosphate. Now where from this methyl group arise? I've already told you there is a trick, remembering the structure of UTP, CTP and TTP. NNS2, NHO, NHO, CH3. So in its structure, it is NHOCH3. Our CH3 group is present in its structure. That CH3 has arrived from N5N10 methyl tetrahydrofolate. रिकॉर्डिंग आप सबको मिलेगी, आराम से, बिल्कुल आराम से सुनना, बार बार सुनना, क्योंकि ये पॉइंट बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट है. मिथाइल ग्रुप का ट्रांसफर कौन कर रहा है? मिथाइल टेट्राहाइड्रोफोलेट कर रहा है बेटा, और इसी को इनहिबिट कर देती है दो ड्रग्स. कौन कौन सी ड्रग इनहिबिट कर देती है? methotrexate and aminopterin. Once these drug inhibit this particular process, then it is the one that will inhibit the entire process for the formation of thymidine मोनोफॉस्फेट, यानी कि थायमिडीन को नहीं बनने देगी। तो ये वाली ड्रग क्या कर देती है, अगर कैंसर हो चुका है तो कैंसर सेल्स रेप्लिकेट वेरी फास्ट, they require plentiful amount of N5 N10 methyl tetrahydrofolate. These drug inhibit its absorption. These drug inhibit the absorption of this particular enzyme. As these drug inhibit the absorption of this particular the functioning of this particular enzyme, so that the cells are relatively safe from being replicating again and again, और पर्सन की लाइफ बचाई जा सकती है क्योंकि अब उसकी सेल्स इतनी तेजी से रेप्लिकेट नहीं होंगे। ओके, नाउ मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, what we are going to get is this ribonucleotide reductase. This is how ribonucleotide reductase act, and it is the one that is responsible for the reduction of all the different types of nucleotides. See, adenosine diphosphate getting converted into deoxyadenosine diphosphate. GDP can get converted into deoxyguanosine diphosphate, and so on. So all these different types of molecules are being produced. Okay, so that we are going to look forward now how these different types of molecules are being produced through a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, hopefully this is visible to you all. Just checking it out. Okay, it is visible to you all. Now, after the biosynthesis of CTP has taken place, then we are going to look forward, and now as we move forward, what we get is that the CTP has been biosynthesized. Synthesis of deoxyribonucleotides. How does the synthesis of deoxyribonucleotide takes place? Now see this, deoxyribonucleotides are being produced by the action of another enzyme that is referred to as ribonucleotide reductase. Now this ribonucleotide reductase is the one that will reduce the hydroxy group of the ribose with hydrogen atoms via free radical mechanism. This is very important. It will use a free radical mechanism to catalyze the reduction at this hydroxy group. I would be talking about to you about this entire mechanism. This entire mechanism will be taught to you from the book Strayer, so that we are going to look forward. Okay. Then synthesis of deoxyribonucleotide takes place. What is the basic difference? There is a hydroxy group, and there the hydroxy group is completely absent in the case of deoxyribonucleotides. Now, the reaction thymine, how does the formation of thymine takes place? The formation of thymine takes place in another catalytic reaction. Thymine is methylated uracil. So there is a methylation that is going to take place. And who is the methyl group donor? N5N10 methyl tetrahydrofolate act as the methyl group donor, which will be donating the methyl group. Okay. So that reaction, okay, that reaction is not given here. This is uridine triphosphate getting converted into uridine monophosphate, and ultimately the next reaction will take place that will lead to the formation of thymidine molecule. I'll be sharing that reaction with you on WhatsApp along with you. There you will find that how does the formation of this thymidylate occurs in the cell. Okay. Now, moving forward, in the case of Pathfinder, you will find that how does the purine ribonucleotide molecules are being biosynthesized. Now, before moving towards the purine ribonucleotide, we must understand about the structure of ribonucleotide reductase. So what is this ribonucleotide reductase? How does this ribonucleotide reductase act? What are the key important features of this ribonucleotide reductase, and how many number of questions are being asked from ribonucleotide reductase and thymidylate? So that we would be looking forward now. Okay, so we have already completed these certain reactions. Okay, now when we talk about thymidylate, just give me a second so that I can open the book Strayer, and we can move towards this particular reaction. I have the book Strayer with me. Okay, this is nucleic acid biosynthesis. Just a minute, just give me some 1 or 2 minutes. Just a minute, I'm just moving forward. Okay, so now we are looking, we are going to look at Stryer, at Lubert Stryer, and we are going to move towards this ribonucleotide reductase enzyme. That how does this ribonucleotide reductase enzyme acts, and what are its key important function? Okay, so we are going to look forward. 950 approximately 970. Okay, so this would be 970 somewhere. 23, 24, 25. Just a minute. We are going to move to that particular point where we will start the nucleic acid biosynthesis pathways from this Lubert Stryer. This is one of the best book. You can look at the questions, you can look at the answers. You will get these books also from me. I will share them in my Google Drive, and from there you would be able to download it out, all the different books and materials that I'm showing it to you. Okay. Yes, here we are. We were looking at all these different types of reactions. Just again, this is 24 only going on. We have to move towards 25. Okay, here we are. We were looking at this particular reaction, that how does these reactions were being formed. See, this is what I have told it to you. Now, just to have a shorter view that how does this particular reaction was taking place. One student has asked me a question that see this bicarbonate ion. There were an ATP molecule, and this ATP molecule was getting converted into, in our first reaction, these two molecules of ATP were being utilized. Now see how, where the two molecules of ATP were being utilized in the pathfinder. See, I'm talking about this particular reaction, see this particular reaction. As I told you, carmol phosphate synthetase second is an enzyme with two different subunits. So which are the two different subunits that we are going to look forward then, and how does these subunits function? Now see this, there you can find there, this is the carmol phosphate synthetase enzyme, carmol phosphate synthetase second enzyme. It has different domains. The domains forms a structure called as ATP grasp fold. There is a structure which is being produced called as ATP grasp fold, and this ATP grasp fold within the, ये structure किसके अंदर बन रहा है, कार्बोल फॉस्फेट सिंथेटेज एंजाइम के अंदर. ये क्या कर लेता है, एटीपी को यहाँ पर ग्रास्प कर लेता है और एटीपी को रिएक्ट करा देता है किसके मॉलिक्यूल के साथ में बेटा, बाइकार्बोनेट के साथ में रिएक्ट करा देता है और एक कंपाउंड बनाता है जिसका नाम है कार्बोक्सी फॉस्फेट. कार्बोक्सी फॉस्फेट एक पहला इंटरमीडिएट बनाता है जिसका नाम है कार्बामिक एसिड. देखो, कार्बामिक एसिड ही सबसे पहला इंटरमीडिएट है. ये कौन सी रिएक्शन है, ये सबसे पहली वाली डोमेन की रिएक्शन है जिसे हम एटीपी ग्रास्प फोल्ड कहते हैं. ठीक है, वो इस रिएक्शन को कैटलाइज करता है. ठीक है, टू फॉर्म कार्बोइल फॉस्फेट बन गया. अब देखिए यहाँ पर देखिए इन द फाइनल स्टेप, इन द नेक्स्ट स्टेप, यानी कि पहली रिएक्शन हो चुकी है. इन द नेक्स्ट स्टेप, in the final step catalyzed by carboyl phosphate synthase, carbamic acid is phosphorylated by another molecule of ATP to form carbamoyl phosphate. और अगले स्टेप में आप देखते हैं तो देखिए एक और एटीपी का मॉलिक्यूल रिएक्ट कर जाता है बेटा. एक और जब एटीपी का मॉलिक्यूल रिएक्ट कर जाता है तो यहाँ पर फॉस्फेट का मॉलिक्यूल एंटर कर चुका है. जब फॉस्फेट यहाँ पर एंटर कर चुका है तो क्या बना दिया बेटा, इसने एक और मॉलिक्यूल बना दिया, दैट इज रेफर्ड टू एज कार्बामोइल फॉस्फेट. तो कार्बामोइल फॉस्फेट के अंदर एक्चुअली में दो डोमेन है बेटा. पहली वाली डोमेन का नाम है एटीपी ग्रास्प फोल्ड डोमेन, एंड द सेकंड डोमेन व्हिच इज बीइंग इन्वॉल्वड इज द वन दैट कन्वर्ट्स द कार्बामिक एसिड, द फर्स्ट स्टेबल इंटरमीडिएट, इनटू कार्बामोइल फॉस्फेट. अब आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर जो मैंने आपको बताया था, देखो दूसरी एटीपी कहाँ खर्च हो रही है. नाइट्रोजन एक इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव कंपाउंड है, ऑक्सीजन एक इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव कंपाउंड है. तो यहाँ पर ऑक्सीजन जो इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव कंपाउंड है उसके साथ में हम फॉस्फेट को जोड़ रहे हैं, दो इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव कंपाउंड्स को आपस में जोड़ रहे हैं, इसलिए आप एटीपी को खर्च कर रहे हो. ठीक है, तो यहां पर एटीपी क्या हो गई है, खर्च हो गई है. अब देखो एक्टिव साइट leading to carbamic acid formation, carboyl phosphate formation are very similar, relieving that this enzyme evolved by gene duplication event. यानी कि इसकी जो दोनों सब यूनिट है ना बेटा, ये कैसे बनी है, ये जीन डुप्लीकेशन इवेंट से बनी हुई है। इंडीड डुप्लीकेशन ऑफ जीन encoded a GTP grasp domain followed by specialization was central to the evolution of nucleotide biosynthesis process। अगर क्वेश्चन आपसे ये पूछा जाए कि दुनिया का ऐसा एंजाइम कौन सा है जिसके इवोल्यूशन के बिना, जिसके डाइमराइजेशन के बिना कभी भी इवोल्यूशन हो ही नहीं सकता था, तो बेटा कौन सा एंजाइम था? Duplication of the gene which was essentially required, and that enzyme was referred to as the carmyl phosphate synthetase। Okay, so here it is, this line is very important। Okay, now moving forward, now the site for glutamine and how their hydrolysis takes place, we have already told you that carmyl phosphate aspartate, carmyl aspartate dihydroorotate, orotate, and how this uridine formation was taking place. You all have to read this particular book. Now CTP, see this reaction of for the formation of CTP is also given in Pathfinder, but here it is very clearly shown that amino group is being donated from glutamine to glutamate, and here this amino group addition lead to the formation of citidine triphosphate. Now, in the other reaction that you can visualize, that how does this reaction is going to take place. Here you are going to find that bicarbonate reacts with the amino group and ATP molecules. Sir, class में थोड़ी देर में कॉल कर रहा हूँ बस। So ATP reacts with the amino group and bicarbonate molecule and lead to the formation of the first ring, that is referred to as the pyrimidine ring. Then it leads to the formation of uridine triphosphate, citidine triphosphate. Again, see the first ribonucleotide to be biosynthesized is uridine triphosphate. So it is the first nucleotide that is going to be biosynthesized. Moving forward, we are going to look at another very key important compound, key important reaction that is being now see this is very important point that I have already told you, that this subunit, this carmyl phosphate was made up of two different subunit and a channel was running in between it। इसके अंदर एक चैनल रन कर रहा था, वो कहाँ दे रखा है, देखो ये दे रखा, कहाँ दे रखा है, कहाँ दे रखा है, see this, the three active sites of carmyl phosphate synthetase are linked by a channel, and that, just a second, just a second, why this image is not being displayed, this image is taking some time। Okay, the three active sites of the carmyl phosphate synthetase are linked by a channel through which intermediate glutamine can enter from one active site and carmyl phosphate can leave through the another active site। So this is the reaction that is going to take place, and there are different active sites which are present within this particular structure। इस structure के अंदर जो अलग-अलग active sites होती हैं, वो इस structure को catalyze करती हैं। These are very heavy images, that is why they are taking some time। Okay, now this would be visible to you all। Okay, now there are the pathways that we are going to visualize, and we are going to visualize the structure of ribonucleotide reductase enzyme। How does ribonucleotide reductase enzyme work? Now please look forward so that we can look at ribonucleotide reductase at least in our present lecture। Now see this, I will be following your Pathfinder, that is why I am talking about thymidine formation। Now this reaction is not given in Pathfinder, in the old Pathfinder it is not given, in the new Pathfinder it has been included। Now in this case, the thymidine is being produced। Now how does thymidine is being produced? By donation of a methyl group by dihydrofolate or tetrahydrofolate that we were talking about in Pathfinder also। In Pathfinder we were talking about these particular reactions, that how does the donation of this methyl group lead to the formation of thymidine or thymidylate। See this, N5 methylene tetrahydrofolate, which is being shown here, that same reaction is also being shown here by dihydrofolate or tetrahydrofolate। How does the reactions are going to be proceeded? Now see this, this is how aminopterin methotrexate that will bind and will cause the transfer of that methyl group over themselves। aminopterin और methotrexate क्या करते हैं, दोनों इनहिबिटर्स हैं। किसके इनहिबिटर्स हैं? मिथाइल ग्रुप ट्रांसफर रिएक्शन के इनहिबिटर हैं। कैसे वर्क करते हैं? अपने ऊपर मिथाइल ग्रुप को ट्रांसफर करा लेते हैं, दूसरे के ऊपर ट्रांसफर नहीं होने देते, इसलिए वर्क करते हैं। अब देखिए ये रिएक्शन है, यहां पर ये एंजाइम्स वर्क कर रहे हैं। Okay, so they are the one that will lead to the formation of thymidine. ये thymidine को बना देते हैं. अब यहाँ पर हम लोग चल रहे थे, sorry, I just moved away from this particular topic. थोड़ा सा हम आगे निकल आए, sorry. शायद हम कुछ ज़्यादा ही आगे निकल आए. How does ATP and GTP molecules are produced? We will be looking forward, क्योंकि प्यूरिन न्यूक्लियोटाइड का बायोसिंथेसिस अभी हमने नहीं पढ़ा है. अभी हम जो पढ़ने वाले हैं वो है थाइमिडीन. वो है आपका थाइमिडीन के बाद में राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड रिडक्टेज की रिएक्शंस. राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड रिडक्टेज कैसे वर्क करता है. Now see this. This is the function of ribonucleotide reductase. Now there is a very complex enzyme that is involved in the reduction of the nucleotides to form deoxynucleotides, and this enzyme is referred to as ribonucleotide reductase. Okay, so this enzyme will be made up of two different subunits. One is referred to as the R1 subunit, another one is referred to as the R2 subunit. Again, there is no information in Pathfinder about these different subunits and how does these subunits function. I will be giving you extra notes tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, you will get some extra notes about the ribonucleotide reductase, where we would be talking about these four different amino acid residues: the glutamine, the cysteine, and cysteine that will form the active site of this particular ribonucleotide reductase. How does these three, cysteine and glutamine, catalyzes the biochemical reaction along with a tyrosine molecule which is present? That we have to see. Now see this. This is the R1 subunit. There are two subunits that I told you. One is the R1 subunit that you are visualizing. Another one is said to be the R2 subunit, the second subunit of the ribonucleotide reductase molecules. Now, this is the biochemical mechanism. I'm just showing you the biochemical mechanism. The notes that I would be providing it to you will also include this particular page. This particular page depicts how ribonucleotide reductase acts. This is the mechanism of ribonucleotide reductase. My dear students, at least two questions have been asked in CSIR as well as in other entrance examination, including this ribonucleotide reductase and its mechanism of action. I knew that this is a bit complex and I have not given you adequate notes about it. So we must continue with this particular discussion in my other lecture, in my second lecture. I would be closing just here only for today. If this is a short class, we will take an extra class tomorrow, and the class schedule will be 7:30, and it will go from 7:30 to 9:30, so that we can have some extra time in understanding these biochemical reactions. Biochemical की reactions के लिए मुझे थोड़ा time चाहिए ही होता है, ताकि मैं और better तरीके से आपको explain कर सकूं. इसके notes आपको morning में कल या आफ्टरनून तक 12 बजे तक मैं आपको प्रोवाइड कर दूंगा, ताकि हम इसे और बेटर तरीके से पढ़ सकें. बायोकेमिस्ट्री का बेस हम लोग पाथफाइंडर को लेके चल रहे हैं, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि हम स्ट्रायर और लेंजर नहीं पढ़ेंगे. वी आर गोइंग टू learn Straya as well as Leninger, and if you have any other book you can also consult that. If you need any book in the form of PDF, in the form of photocopies from me, then you can always ask me. Okay. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. If you have any queries, you can just write it down. And I do think that you might be having some of good queries. So I'm just trying to unmute you all so that you can ask your queries, ask your questions. Anybody, if anybody wants to ask me anything, hello. If anybody wants to ask me anything, tomorrow class will start at 7:30. I will provide you the notes before 12 o'clock, because as their typing is going on, you will get all the proper notes. Okay, please keep solving your MCQ as well as test and evaluation and catalyst booklet, because almost half of the chapter has been finished for nucleic acid, and the DPP, the daily practice sheets, will be available to you all after the completion of biochemistry, or before this nucleic acid completion. I will upload in your group so that you can practice from them. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the lecture. You will get the recorded version and its link in the group. Thank you. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe the channel when you will be visualizing the same on YouTube. Okay, goodbye. You can also post your queries on our group as well as personally to me. Thank you. Thanks a lot.